All right, here it is. I tell you guys all the time what you can expect. There's going to be the two proofs on there, 8 points each. I'm hoping you guys understand the flow of a similar triangle proof. You prove the triangle similar. What can you do after proving the triangle similar? Show two ratios are equal by CSSTP, then cross multiply those ratios and say what? Means and extremes are equal. All right. Please do not get the order mixed up. All right. There's a couple extra proofs in the back, I believe, of the review that we haven't done yet. Do not get the order mixed up. I don't know what else it's like. We go through, I feel like a broken record. You know, factoring and quadratic formula. What do I need to do to have you get you guys prepared for that? Because I know tomorrow I'm just going to see a whole bunch of craziness going on, even though we practice it 6 times this week on your assignment sheet. We did it on, let's see, I think Tuesday we did it. No, Monday. Monday we did it after reviewing for your, nope, Tuesday. Tuesday we did it when we finished up mid segments. I don't know what else to tell you. All right, it's going to be on there. All right, factoring or using quadratic formula. And you'll have the reference sheet for quadratic formula. And the last part is, can you match up corresponding sides? Here's what I mean. I want to bring your attention back to the one that almost everyone got incorrect on the quiz before midterm. You may remember it. That one? When you set up a proportion, number one, you need full sides. All right? You cannot use 8 in your proportion. Do you see why? It's BC is not a full side in either two triangles. Next thing, when you set up the corresponding sides, you need to make sure the congruent angles are smack right on top of each other. Then say what are the corresponding sides, then write your proportion. All right? You can't just flip it over. All right? Because these two don't match up. All right? You have to turn the triangle so the congruent angles match up. I'm going to do it to you again tomorrow. All right? You got to match up the congruent angles before you say which sides correspond. And again, the number one thing is make sure you use full sides, not partial sides. Can't use the 8 anywhere. Cannot use the 8 anywhere. All right, so please be aware of that. All right. We okay there? We know what I'm talking about with that one. All right, can you match up the corresponding sides? Make sure the congruent angles are smack on top of each other. All right. Questions with that? Yes, hi, Teddy. Yes, they are. Yep. Yep. They are part of that. Anything you want to ask there? Going. As usual, nothing's going to change in the second semester. You guys have textbook questions I'm suggesting. You guys know the answers are they in the back ears? Yeah, they are? Okay, of course they are. Along with the work to everything. All right. Do you feel like, I don't know, do we feel like we should go over an algebraic one? Should we go over, I don't know, proof-wise, we already did that one, but number 2? Flagpole? Okay, we can go over number 2. You got it. So you got Nate is what? Close that up. Nate's 5 feet tall. If you want to get more creative with your diagrams, that's fine. I just don't have the time or the ability to. The measure of a flagpole, that is 60 feet tall. He places a mirror on the ground 4 feet away from him. This is like Natasha back in the day. How far from the flagpole? How far from the flagpole is Nate standing? So what we're trying to find is this entire distance right here. how far he is from the flagpole? Well, I already know the 4 feet from the mirror. Can you find the distance the flagpole is from the mirror? Can we find this distance? And this may not look like much, but we could make triangles. We'll always assume that whatever's on the ground is perpendicular to it, even though flagpole doesn't look like it. Can we find this distance here? Can we find this distance? What's the 5 match up with? The height of the flagpole, which is 60. The distance from the mirror is 4, and we're looking for this side that it matches up with, which would be y. So we have 5y equal to, what's that, 240? What's the distance from the flagpole to the mirror? "48 feet," right? Not my final answer. What was the question asking? Nate from the flagpole. Well, we know the flagpole is 48 feet from the mirror, and the mirror is 4 feet from Nate. So total distance, 52 feet total. Questions there? All right. I don't feel like really comfortable just letting you loose yet. I think, yeah, let's do the old Nate again, except that this is Nathan. More mature version, I guess. So he's building a model of his father's sailboat with a scale factor of 1 to 32. Wow. The actual sail is in the shape of a right triangle with a base of 8 and a hypotenuse of 13. What will be the approximate perimeter of the model boat? All right, ready? Okay, a little review here. What's the ratio from the model to the actual one? 1 over 32. All right, it's 1 over 32. If I don't, this is why we're reviewing. That's also the ratio the perimeters are in. Yes, the sides are in a ratio of 1 to 32, but so are the perimeters. So if you could find me, because I really don't want to find each of these sides and add them up. It's going to take too long. You could if you want, all right? But whatever the perimeter of this one is and the perimeter of the smaller one, which we're looking for, those two perimeters will be in a ratio of 1 to 32. Can you help me find the perimeter of the big one so I can place it across from the 32? You almost got it, right? I got 8, I got 13. How do I find the missing side? It's a right triangle. Let's get in this habit. It's a right triangle. They got 2 sides. Find the missing side. Pythagorean theorem. Here we go. You're going to need a calculator because it's not going to have to be a nice number. 8 squared plus b squared equals 13 squared. (13 squared minus 8 squared). (105). Take the square root of both sides. That's not a nice number. So just instead of having, I don't know, you choose. Do you want to write it all out, or do you just want to keep it square root of 105? Oh, actually, sorry. I don't want to. Anybody know what I did wrong there? That's just the side square root of 105. Sorry. What am I trying to put in there? The perimeter, right? Okay, how do you find the perimeter? Add them all up, right? Add them all up. So 13 and 8, that's already 21 plus the square root of 105. You can write, again, write out that decimal. You can write 21 plus the square root of 105. It's up to you. Write out the full decimal in your calculator. Leave it like 21 plus square root of 105. That's fine too. Do you guys understand this concept I'm reviewing here? The perimeter ratio is the same as the similarity or the side ratio. Okay, so since the sides are in a ratio of 1 to 32, so will the perimeters. And now I'm trying to find the perimeter of the smaller one. It's just easier than setting up 3 different proportions to find all 3 sides of this right triangle. Cross multiply. Looks like you're going to divide both sides by 32 at the end. It's got a pretty small model, huh, for this perimeter. Here's what I'm getting. I'm going to write it all out because there's really no rounding direction, so I'll write it all out. 0.97646721114. What type of units am I in? Meters. All right. So there's his perimeter. If you want, again, if you wanted to, you could do 3 separate ones. You could say, all right, I'll call that one y. You could say, all right, the square root of 105 to y is equal to 32 over 1. Do that one. Then put 8 in, put 13 in. It might take a little longer, and then add all of them up. You can do that too. All right, find each side length individually. But remember, the perimeters are in the same ratio as the sides are. Always. Always. We are right there. Questions? I feel like, I don't know why I feel like this, but I feel like we should do an algebra one. Okay, 5, here we go. Go ahead, set it up. I think I'm going to start calling on some people for this one. I have the 5 and the 8 down. I want to know what you put on AD and BC. All right, it says BC is 2 more than AD. So I am looking for you guys. What did you put on AD? What did you put on BC if that's the case? All right, let's roll. 14, you're up. BC is more than AD. Where? BC. So what must you put for AD then? Okay. Everyone ready? Full sides only when you write this proportion. Full sides only. I shouldn't see 5 in there at all. I shouldn't see, no, I shouldn't see 5. 5's not a full side. All right. Can you set up a correct one? And side splitter not usable here because 8 and x plus 2 are the bases. All right, who I have on this one? Let's roll. 30, going deep. What's it correspond with? Nice job. X plus 5, and then keep going. Oh, okay. Yep. 2 plus x, x plus 2, same thing. Yep. Everyone all right with that proportion? We can set that up on your own. No issues. Can we solve it now? 14, you're up. Cross multiply for me. Next step. What's going on? Try 26, next. Okay, he's one side equal to 0. Good. We're okay so far. Okay, you have a decision tomorrow to make. You can try to factor it, or you can use quadratic formula. Okay, and that's a personal decision for you. I'll make the decision as a class now. It's going to be factoring for us. Okay, 2 numbers that do this, and multiply to this, and add to this. Because there are 2 numbers that multiply to a certain one and add to another number. Here you go, 10, you're up. 10 and 4. Multiply to 40, add to 6. You got some signage there for me? Two values of x we end up getting. Here you go, 29, 2 values of x. $11, 2 values of x. What are you going to look for tomorrow after you're done here? 3, what are we looking for now? Which is there one to reject? Got to reject the -4, not because it's negative. Why? Because when I plug it in, it gives me a side length that's negative. So 10 is it. Go back tomorrow, be a little disciplined, say, okay, what do I need to find? AD, what did we label AD as? X. And also right here, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it this year. Maybe this is the first time we're seeing it. Only an algebraic solution. That just means you cannot guess and check. Okay? You cannot guess and check. You need to show me something like this, whether it be quadratic formula or factoring. That's what algebraic solution only means. You cannot guess and check. All right? Anything there? We okay there? Feel a little bit better now that we went over another factoring one. Okay, I'll leave the next 10 minutes up to you guys. There's textbooks over there if you want to grab one. You can finish the questions in the packet. You guys know where the answers all are, so it's up to you.